We're here.
Episode 1.
This was supposed to be episode 1.
So I'm actually second in line.
You're number 2.
Oh wow,
You're number 2.
I feel really special.
Do you feel number 2 makes you feel special?
Number 2 makes me sound like I stink like shit.
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't. But the reason why you're number 2 is we had Chris Van Heerden here. Ray, how'd it go with Chris?
Went great.
Chris, I guess he has all this. Well, not I guess he has all this publicity now. He was the one that sparred Conor McGregor in boxing. McGregor reached out to him, sparred him, and then he came out and said, he didn't hurt me with 16-ounce gloves, and he's just kind of just saying the truth. Or you want the man to lie anyway. So he was number 1 earlier today. So you're number 2. For those that don't know, Danny Weiss. How do people know you? How do people know Danny Weiss? I mean, you do almost everything.
Well, so for my friends, they all know me as just D-Dub. D-Dub in the streets. But
is that like part of like some gang? D-Dub? Like, were you in a gang? Is Calabasas? Are there gangs in Calabasas?
The 818.
Yeah. Like I would say like the hardcore gang would be like there's no fucking gangs in Calabasas. There's no fucking gangs in Calabasas. I think if you're a gangbanger in Calabasas, you need to like check yourself, like Malibu's Most Wanted, and cruise back over the hill to.
Well,
to
I mean,
beach.
it's getting to be honest with you, I think it is getting a little bit like Palmdale-ish, a little bit harder. You have Drake that moved in there from Toronto. You have Justin Bieber also from Canada.
I think he moved out.
Did he move out?
I think they kicked him out.
You got the Kardashians, so it might be getting a little more hood. I don't know. Is it?
Well, the Kardashians, they like black dudes. So I don't know if you're saying like if they're bringing black dudes into like Calabasas. But
I didn't know that.
They used to have a nickname for Calabasas, and that nickname was Calablackless. But I was friends with all the black kids at Calabasas High School. So.
But how many people was that?
I don't know. We got on the subject of race. I'm like, this white kid, man. He's like, I can get in trouble for saying shit on TV. So like
how do people? Danny Weiss, you're an act. I mean, you do. To be honest with you, you do it all: acting, producing. I'm on a broad spectrum. But you're in a lineage of other Weisses.
My other family members are also producers. My oldest brother is an executive producer. My other brother is also an executive producer. My other brother is also an executive producer. So yeah, I have like 3 older brothers that are executive producers. So
did they all do the same thing?
Totally different aspects of the business. I'm sure they could each do similar genres, but they're all great at what they do, and each person is different. So,
do you have like a favorite brother?
I don't have a favorite brother, but if I had to choose, no, I don't have a favorite brother. I love you, Albie. But other than that, like.
So you do it. You suddenly.
No. I know. I'm cool with all my bros. All my brothers are great. We have a close family. Yeah, I have a sister. She lives in Sweden.
So she's like, I'm getting the heck out of here, out of like Dodge, because. She's like, I'm sick of the executive producers.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Well, she's a police officer, so
and she's a cop in Sweden.
Yes. So there's 3 older brothers. There's an older sister and then a younger brother. So.
And all the brothers are producers, and the sister is a cop.
She's a cop.
But the youngest brother is not a producer.
No, he's a baseball player, so he's also going to be in the film business of some sort. I mean, he will be on TV.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Baseball.
Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Is he the best athlete of all you?
By far. He makes me look like I'm like his younger brother. Like I look like he looks like he's my bodyguard. When I go places, they're like, "Hey, your younger brother is like at every one of your games, Albie," and Albie's like, "That's my older brother." Like I mean, I'm definitely I'm definitely the smallest of, I would say the brothers. They're all pretty big dudes, so.
Is this your first video podcast that you're the co-host on?
Correct.
How does
this would be my first?
So of the tap out and chill, are you the chill or the tap out? I mean, I can do both.
I feel like you'd be more chill.
Okay.
And I could get to be tap out. I don't know.
How much jiu-jitsu have you trained?
Back in the day, a bunch. I mean, Boxing, more boxing than I did actually.
What belt are you in jiu-jitsu?
I didn't really get very far. I mean, I would do classes and shit. I did a lot of Krav Maga. So we did Krav.
I tore ligaments. And, like, I had the
You would
scar
definitely, I think
to
you'd probably be tap out. You'd fuck me up, I would
to
say.
show tap out.
You also host an MMA show. You're an MMA expert. I'm not really an MMA expert. I'm just,
You're the casual MMA guy.
I'm a casual MMA guy.
went-
I'm your like not regular, but I'll hear it in the news. I'm your like, oh, I'm a passerby. Like, oh, really? That happened? But I'll check out some MMA. I'll go down to like some fights, drink some beers, hang out, watch some MMA, but not so much the regular.
I feel like our producer Ray is a little bit disrespectful because it's you here and it's not Chris Van Heerden, which we had earlier. He's over there, banging the door while Chris is here. He's straight at attention. Like, what's going on?
Adjust.
Ray, you want to jump in here?
No.
Is it because it's not Chris? And let me tell you, the hands on Chris Van Heerden,
Massive.
they were holy. I was like, look at him, and he's 160. I'm 200. I'm overweight right now, but it doesn't matter. The knuckles on him, and a lot of pro boxers, they have different knuckles than MMA fighters. I find, except there's one or two that MMA fighters will see their knuckles. I'm like, oh, you have done massive boxing, but boxers have these hands that are just lunch boxes.
Well, I used to fight with Olaf Alabi back in high school. So when I was younger,
Who's that?
he was the WBO at the time WBO heavyweight champ of the world. Fought with him for a while. My older brother Rob, I was having some growing up, everybody's got like their things. You get picked on, you got bullies, you got things. But my older brother, he always wanted me to be able to defend myself. My dad was like, "Hey, listen, you're not gonna get your ass kicked in high school." So middle school started. My brother's like, "Yo, listen, you're scrawny, you're little, you're a little weiss. You need to go and actually get some training, and I'm actually going to pay for you, you little white Jewish kid, to go get some training by this big, tough black dude from the hood, and he will show you how to defend yourself with your hands." And I was like, "All right, great, sounds good." So I would go with him every Saturday, and we would go out and we would box together up at this gym in Hollywood. I always forget the name of the gym. It's like the third floor, but it was great, beautiful views. Getting off subject. Olaf Alabi was this massive 6'3", 6'4" South African dude from he had like a South African accent from London, beast. But every Saturday he would beat the shit out of me, and I was like 16, 17, getting my ass kicked by this dude, and his hands were like each one was like the size of my head. So getting hit by this guy, I'd come back to class the next day. And I'd be like rocked, like after like on like a Monday. So we'd fight Saturday, get like a rest day Sunday, come back to school Monday, and my teachers would be like, "Are you all right? Like you look like you got your ass kicked." And I'd be like, "No, I literally got my ass kicked by a
Did you get
world
knocked
champ."
out before?
I've been knocked out in a fight.
By him?
Not by him. He didn't knock me out. I think he just went light on me. I mean, he would obviously knock me
Did
out.
you knock him out?
Never. Not even close. Rob, my older brother, we got to spar. Rob sparred Adrian Brody. Or Adam Brody, I don't know. I always screw up the names, but
It's not Adrian
it's
Broner.
Adam Brody. Adam Brody. Who's the dude?
Not the pro boxer.
The actor, not the pianist. Not the pianist. The dude that's in that Megan Fox movie where she's like the body. I don't know. He's like the rocker. Anyway, yeah. So he would spar that dude and beat his ass. But I was definitely a small dude in high school, so I needed to have that training.
Do you think you can go 12 1-minute rounds with Floyd Mayweather?
I would get my fucking ass kicked. That's not even a question.
No, but would you? I mean, for 1 minute, I thought like Kenny Mayne from ESPN tweeted, "I can go 15 1-second rounds with Floyd." Well,
Would I do it for money? Hell yeah, I would.
No, he said 15 1-second.
You know what? 15. No, I would do it for 15
No.
seconds, one round.
But could you? I was thinking. I wonder if someone could survive in there for 1 minute.
Well, if he
Could you-
ran
if
away
you
like he did
ran-
with if he ran away like he did with Pacquiao, then I would definitely say I would take the 15 seconds in that ring.
Well, no, would it be? It would be 12. I'm saying 12 1-minute rounds. not
I'd still
15
do
seconds.
it.
Could you? I mean, would he? At some point,
Would he kick my ass in that?
he would find you
He would
or
find a weakness, and I would say in between those rounds.
right like just cut off the ring and just start because he's gonna throw haymakers and you
He's a
have to connect.
professional fighter. I mean, he's that dude. That's all he does for a living. I
Yeah.
mean, I would definitely give him my
It's
all.
weird that people have these. This is what I don't like. People have these hypotheticals when because of his boxing style. He's best defensive boxer of all time, smartest boxer of all time in my mind, best ever now. And I don't even put him top five. But this Mayweather McGregor talk, and that's is what it's crazy, and at the same time it's intriguing. And I know people say, well, Conor McGregor doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance. And I thought, well, he does have a puncher's chance, and it might be interesting to see what happens. And then Chris Van Heerden showed me footage of him and McGregor sparring, just straight boxing, and I was like, whoa. And Van Heerden is no people have been calling him a bum. This guy was the IBO world champion, the IBF international champion at 147. Before he fought Errol Spence, he was like ranked sixth in the world. So obviously he's not a bum, but he's not. He said he admitted that he's not Mayweather. He's like I would get beat by Mayweather, but I would get in there.
Uh, honestly, like the Mayweather and uh, McGregor fight, if that were to happen, I think, in my opinion, like I don't want to sound wish-washy, but I would say that it all depends on who's a stronger puncher. So who's going to hit harder? Like, wouldn't you say that a guy that comes in with thicker gloves, that's been fighting with thicker gloves, and has been able to constantly knock people out with those thicker gloves? Like, I'm no scientist, but wouldn't, or like, like I'm not an analyst, I'm not a sports analyst, but if you were to say somebody that comes in and has thicker gloves and constantly knocks somebody out every single fight that he comes in, or whatever, he can knock somebody out with a thicker padded glove compared to a guy with a thin padded glove who throws like these light punches all the time, is probably going to get hit harder. So like Mayweather would hit McGregor harder than McGregor would hit
Well,
Mayweather.
because McGregor's coming up from using 4 ounce gloves to probably 10 ounce gloves. Of course, Mayweather's gonna. He's used to those gloves. McGregor's used to smaller gloves, so McGregor's punches are gonna come off not as hard, not as fast, not as quick.
So
So
you're saying
obviously,
he's going to get his ass kicked?
there's how is Floyd gonna lose? Well, it's like, and I predicted if this were to happen that it would do 2 million pay-per-view buys. Chris was saying he thinks it could do Pacquiao numbers like 4.4 and above. I'm like, wow.
So would this be the first crossover?
Well, you had James Toney, coming over to MMA fighting Randy Couture. You remember that where James
Mm-mm.
Toney came over, Randy Couture took him down, and James Toney didn't get one punch off. James Toney wasn't in his prime. But you never had anyone in their prime boxer crossing over or MMA fighter crossing over. I think the best example, Chris Algieri, he did kickboxing and he crossed over to straight boxing, which is a bigger payday. But the kickboxing and boxing are way more similar than you adding in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, sambo, anything else.
I mean, the money aspect of it, though. I mean,
Oh,
that's just going to be enormous.
Floyd's getting at least 100 million. No, I mean guaranteed. There's no. I mean that's his price, but he would get more than that. And they're talking about McGregor making 50 million. I mean, he said, I think McGregor could make 100 million off of that fight if at 2 million pay-per-view buys. No, I mean if that does the same numbers that the Pacquiao one did, which Chris thinks it could do, then he'd be the first MMA fighter to hit 9 figures.
Do you think Dana White would support that
It would
transition?
have to. It would no. It would have to be a co-promotion. That's all. Dana White. I mean, McGregor's under contract. It's not going to happen if it's not signed off by the UFC.
So these two guys would basically be making history
Well,
with
one
this
hundred
fight.
percent.
Got it.
But it's not going to be. It's not going to be the fight that people think. I mean, again, my my mind. I had a predisposition on how I thought it could go. Of like, you know, Connor would move forward and try to track Floyd down and maybe take some shots and eat it and connect. But again, watching him spar with Chris again, former world champion, I was like, wow, like Conor couldn't do much. Conor landed a couple of shots, but with boxing gloves, it's not much. And then it was a boxer tracking down McGregor, and usually in MMA, Conor tracks down the his opponents.
So for a fight like this, though, if you were in McGregor's position, would you want to choose the fight between him and if you were in McGregor's position, would you want to choose the fight between him and Mayweather or him and Nate Diaz?
What's the bigger fight?
I don't know. You tell
You
me. I mean,
what
that's
I
a
mean
tough.
from
Like,
a money standpoint, Floyd Mayweather said, "I'll give you 50 million." He went from 7 to 50 million off the bat.
but I know what you're
Could the
saying.
UFC pay McGregor 50 million?
Or there's the way to look at it, like you can regain some of your fight cred also in the UFC, because he also did just come off of a loss to Nate Diaz. So here you are as McGregor, and you've just lost a fight to Nate Diaz. You've just lost this fight, and you're not showing up to, what did he not show up to? He didn't show up
The
to.
press conference,
Yeah. So, and then obviously the UFC didn't like that.
right? But
They're dumping all this money into it.
I can
And
give you $5 or $1,000 for an easier fight. Which one would you take? You might not win either one.
well, if it's to save my name and to actually regain some of the respect I mean, I'm sure he still has respect in the game, but yet some of his street cred with the UFC. I mean, there's fans out there, I mean, I'm sure
But
he
he's a
lost some fans.
businessman. I think at the end of the day, he's a businessman.
So numbers, yeah, I would take the bigger fight with the more money for the less work.
It's a no brainer.
Sure.
I
But
mean Mayweather is.
but if that's your sport, right? Or well, there's two ways to also look at it. There's more money in it, but also he could get knocked out in this other sport too. Like, so he could go into boxing. He could go into boxing and also get knocked the hell out. So he
Right.
could have now lost in two sports and then be a loser in two
He could make,
brackets.
but he could have a $50 to $100 million payday in his bank account, or he could have 10 million in his bank account.
On the if
Ten-
chance that he does win that fight between him and Mayweather, he would be one of boxing's greatest. Then, would you say?
I mean, that's going on.
Arguably, right? If he knocked out the best, if he knocked out the greatest.
Wow, you're going there. So you think McGregor would beat Floyd?
No. I'm saying to you, because no. I'm not. I definitely don't. I'm not saying anything on this one. I'm waiting back because I just said to you earlier that the guy with the heavier gloves, I think, would win that fight. But I said on the if chance that McGregor were to beat Mayweather, would you think that he would be the greatest fighter?
He would have. I mean,
the greatest boxer of all time.
Well, I don't think Floyd's the greatest boxer. Like I said, he's not even top 5.
I thought you did say he was top 5.
No, I said he's not even top 5 on
your radar.
He might not even be top 10. I mean, for me, I mean, you have Ali, I have Sugar Ray Leonard, you have Thomas Hearns, you have.
Of our time, though, he would be the greatest fighter. Of my time.
Yeah, but it's like weird. I mean, did he fight De La Hoya in his prime? Yes or no?
No.
Did he fight Shane Mosley in his prime?
That I don't know.
No. Shane Mosley was
No.
out of his prime. Did he fight Manny Pacquiao in his prime?
Yes.
Manny Pacquiao was in his prime when he fought.
It depends. I mean,
depends on what?
Didn't they have 2 fights though? They had 2 fights. They had that one before.
No, they only had fought once. Floyd Mayweather
Who?
Jr.
Oh, I'm thinking of Cotto.
Nope, they only had one. Here, you're thinking about Timothy Bradley had 3 fights with Manny Pacquiao.
Jesus Christ.
It's like,
Yeah.
Tim Bradley had 3 fights with Floyd. I mean, this was the only fight Manny had with Floyd.
So this would be okay. All right.
Mayweather has never fought any premier boxer, not premier, because they're like one of the greatest in their primes ever. You can't say he fought Canelo. I mean, it's not Canelo his fault. Canelo was like 22, 23 when he fought Canelo. But I think if they were both in their prime, I would still put Floyd over Canelo. I think De La Hoya, even though De La Hoya was already out of his prime, I think De La Hoya, if you go back and watch that fight, maybe I have to watch it again. I thought De La Hoya won that fight. Mosley, I knew Mosley had him hurt in the second round, and then Floyd Smart was able to adjust. But no, I mean, to me, the best fighters of all time fight each other at any time, any place, anywhere.
So you would just say that essentially McGregor would be a really good boxer if he beat Mayweather.
If he beat Mayweather, I would say it was just like a freaking
Fluke. So
yeah.
going back to what we did talk about though,
I would say it's a
which if you were McGregor, which fight would you choose? Would you choose honor or would you choose the money?
I think I mean it's
If you
you
truly
have to
believed in your
you
skills,
you
if
have
you
to choose.
believed in your skills, and you're like, I am gonna beat Nate Diaz and I'm gonna get back
What's
into
the
the ring,
bigger? I
or
mean,
does
what
he or
it's
does he think that he's gonna lose
the bigger fight is Floyd Mayweather.
for money? But do you think that he's not
Okay,
choosing
so
the Nate Diaz
okay,
because
been in the business a while. You're a producer, actor. You've kind of been a little bit of both. So if you had a chance to go produce a movie that was well written, low budget, you're not going to make that much money on, but your last movie before was a flop, or you can go make a movie that you can maybe live off of for the rest of your life, and the script isn't that good, but
it's
your
gonna
name is attached to it, and again, you're gonna be able to live off of that comfortably forever.
I guess it's a hypothetical, but honestly, if I was looking at it as a production side, you get to make a movie with Steven Spielberg and make less money, or go make a big movie with a lot of money and with nobody knows, but you're making way more money than you are with the Steven Spielberg. I would choose the one that was less money to get my name out there. You know what I mean? Like just
Your
something for
name,
your
no,
honor, for your honor. If
your
you're gonna
name's
choose,
gonna your name's gonna be out there regardless. Actually,
Isn't Steven
to,
Spielberg the bigger movie?
of course. I mean, yeah,
Right.
sure, exactly. But I'm
Right.
saying, but on the if come that it wasn't, and on the if chance that it wasn't,
you
they're both
two
flashy things.
right,
They're
and
both
your
great
name's
because
gonna be out there for both.
he's in a great position regardless. I mean, he's going to choose a fight between two of the greatest at the time in their sport. Mayweather, who's a champ, and Nate Diaz, arguably right now, is one of the best in MMA. Everybody wants to see Nate beat McGregor. I feel like. I mean, I feel like it's like, oh yeah, rematch. Let's watch Nate kick his ass. There are people that I feel like are gonna go, oh, McGregor's gonna come back in there, but you know,
I
if you
think
want
a lot of people see this as a lose-lose for him. The rematch, people think he's going to lose it. He probably has a better chance against Mayweather.
Most people aren't that small. Those people that think that are it's completely asinine to think Conor McGregor is a loose. How is he's going to be the headliner?
I would say
on,
win-win for money-wise too.
No,
I mean,
money-wise, it's good. But I'm saying he's fighting out of his weight class. This kind of gives him time to get better at boxing before he has to go and fight Aldo or Edgar.
That's why Ray, the producer, is behind the camera, because that is just completely BS. A lose-lose situation for Conor McGregor. His name is just getting bigger.
I'm saying he's going to lose. It's most likely he will lose both fights. The money-wise is good. Obviously, the Mayweather is a better option.
He's winning right now. I mean, what do we tap out and chill? He's winning right now. There's no lose part of that. I mean, what's he
it's
losing?
tough.
He's still a headliner regardless.
It's tough. Honestly, like the thing that I see him being a loser at, though, I mean, if an organization like the UFC is behind you, right? So if somebody like Dana White, who is telling you that they're going to dump $10 million into the marketing of UFC 200, they're going to put $10 million behind that advertising and that campaign, and you're going to no-show it, then you better make the commitment to go and fight that Mayweather. If you're a smart business guy. If you're going to go, okay, I'm not going to do 200 because
Who's bigger than Conor McGregor right now?
Nate Diaz beat him.
Who is he a bigger star?
I guess it depends on how you look at it, because everybody knows Nate Diaz now too.
Yeah, but Conor McGregor is who has more followers by far.
I don't know that one. I'd ask you. I would ask you.
He has like 1.8 million on his Twitter. I think he's like 5 million on Instagram. Is something around there. He is the most popular fighter in UFC history, right? As of right now, there's nothing trumps him. So how are you gonna hurt something when you're on top? Like everyone knows your name. It's like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Oh no, cheers! Everyone knows your name. Little ode to the 80s, 90s.
Well, although I mean he did lose. So if you're gonna fight for your name, you want to go back and beat the guy's ass that just kicked your ass.
He should go to his own weight class.
Go back down to his own weight class and try to continue fighting at that class. I mean, yeah, there's that, but or there's the guy that just kicked your ass. That's You know, that's gonna still be my argument. It's like if you're still gonna fight in this sport, you've talked all this shit, and you've continued on this path of I'm gonna beat his ass. You know, he talks about all of his other opponents. I drive around in cars that spit fire, and I look like El Chapo. If he's gonna continue to talk that shit, maybe he should fight someone that just kicked his fucking ass.
But that's what he wanted. He wants a rematch.
If he
That's
wants
what
that rematch, he should start showing up to some of those things that Dana White's telling him to show up to.
There's two, but I mean, he has two options. So it's either like, hey, I can go down this path, which is cool, which I want. I want my vengeance, or just pretend like, remember riding on It's a Small World at Disneyland, and as a kid, you're there. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool. I wish I lived. This is kind of. I wish I was able to get off this boat and kind of explore this whole new world over here. That's what this Mayweather thing has opened up, a whole new world where you can get off the boat
So you can jump
in
ship.
small world.
You can jump
You
ship.
can jump.
You can jump ship Titanic style and see like
and
where
live
and see
and
where
survive. You can jump
it
Titanic.
you might survive or you might
And
drown.
you get
look at I'll never let go, Jack. He drowned. He fucking died, man.
Right, but
You know what I mean? Like he jumped ship and he died.
Oh no! In this one, Leo gets to the land and he gets the girl and he has a mansion
And he becomes a wolf of Wall Street.
and he becomes a Wolf of Wall Street. Exactly.
All right.
Well, it's a
All right.
no. It's a win. It's a win-win situation for him. He loses to Mayweather. He just lost to a 49-0,
Or
maybe one of the best ever. He loses to Nate. He lost to the bigger guy.
if you're a fan of this sport and you go, I love Conor McGregor, and this guy is your idol, and you've looked up to this guy, and you're a young kid and you've been fighting, and this is somebody that you idolize, you know, like a WWE or let's say this is somebody's idol, okay? Do you think that they would want Conor McGregor to choose a fight for money? They would want him to choose a fight that was directed in the sport that he had pretty much jumped into. I mean, from the start, like that's what he's been fighting, and he's known for an MMA fighter. He's known to be an MMA fighter. So why would he go and choose a fight with Mayweather? Yes, there's the money, but on like the realistic scheme of things, for fame. So it's really for fame and for money. So to continue that McGregor name is what you're saying.
I feel like you're maybe this analogy will help. You can take care of your family.
True.
Your mom, your dad, your sister, your wife, your kids, your grandkids. I mean, you don't even have kids.
We're going on.
Your
we're
great
going-
grandkids,
This
your
rant.
cousins, your second cousin, third cousins, or you could just just have a bling bling lifestyle on your own for a little.
Yeah,
bit.
He's a very flashy.
So yeah,
Actually,
these two-
it would be good on the sense of flashiness. It would be a very flashy fight because you got, you know, looking at McGregor's fight, like his lifestyle. I mean, he's flashy as hell. Mayweather, flashy as hell. They both love money, so you know.
Right, and the interesting thing that McGregor posted on Instagram was him and his Rolls Royce and his brand new clothes, and he's like, I got new clothes on, Rolls Royce, and then he actually
Looking
tagged
like El Chapo.
Floyd. He didn't say that in this one. He's like money McGregor, and like where's Floyd or what's up Floyd, so something to that nature. And then some people thought it was a knock towards Chris Van Heerden. And when he was here, he's like, yeah, I think that was a shot at me. But he's like, I've shown the guy nothing but respect. I have nothing but respect for the guy. And that was it. I mean, the only thing that McGregor has said to the media was on ESPN. It was Kenny Mayne. That interview they did after Dana and Lorenzo met with him in Beverly Hills. And he just said, it's business. Everything's cool. Everything's kosher. The one thing that we haven't heard is Dana White hasn't completely shut it down. The only thing he had said before was, Floyd, call me. And now all this stuff is out. McGregor puts out the poster, which is kind of older, but there hasn't been a completely stop to this fight. I'm just curious, like ESPN and Fox Sports analysts, they're saying that it's going to happen once it's September, once it's May. Chris actually thinks it's going to happen too. And that's coming from, the pro boxing side. If this happens, I still feel like it's one of those things where, when you're in a dream and you think it's real, like this, and then you wake up and you're like, whoa, that dream wasn't real. I feel like this is what it is. Like this should never happen because it's never happened before, and it will never happen. I'm not saying it shouldn't. And one day I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like, oh, there was no talk of this at all. This was all made up. So if it does happen,
So speculation is basically what we're going on right now.
we're
essentially.
we're going on just speculation, rumors, and a dream. We're on this is the dream. You're in a dream state. This is what's Leo's
Inception.
this is Inception where you just have to spin the top. Like, are we here? Are we not? Where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on his decision on McGregor's, because obviously I think Mayweather would fight him. I mean that
I
has
think
been said.
It's
That has been.
Dana. It's the promotion. That's going to be the key. Is how are these
Well,
guys going to split the money?
he's although Dana White did make it seem like the Nate Diaz fight is kind of off the table at this point, because after listening to like the herd, when Dana White was interviewed by Coward, they basically had said after this interview, I mean, he's got a couple minutes to call me, otherwise, he ain't going to be the fighter on that card. So,
Well, he's talking about
for
McGregor.
UFC, yeah. Sorry, did I say
Yeah.
Mayweather?
No.
No, you got me all confused.
Diaz.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, Diaz is of course on the card, right? I mean, am I thinking right now that
No,
is going to happen for 200?
No.
So Diaz is not going to be on the card no matter what. They're not going to find somebody to fight Diaz.
It's 202 what they're looking at in August. They're looking at August, I think 20th for UFC 202.
So for 200 though, they will not have Diaz
that
whatsoever.
200 is
It's
dead.
done. It's done.
It's like a fish out of the water that got a shotgun blast.
Yeah,
That fish is sushi. It's almost eaten.
I like it.
That's what it is. So I mean that's completely done. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. I mean, this is
So who's on that one?
200.
Yeah.
John Jones and Daniel Cormier.
Okay, so 199 though, that was Rockhold, Luke
Because-
Rockhold.
Bisbing.
Yeah.
Here,
That's the one that's at the
Great Western Forum.
coming up.
Like, why would they not? I think they've been at Staples, but never the Forum. I went to a fight at the Forum, the Glory, and it's they did remodeling. I was never there when it was older, but I wonder why they didn't do it at Staples.
So you say the full name of the forum. So you say the Great Western
The
Forum.
Great Western Forum.
So we all know it as just the forum.
Who, the LA people?
LA peeps or
Well, I'm
young
from San Diego.
young like 22 to like from like 20 to like 25. All of us that go
Well,
see
but
like
no
Justin
one-
Bieber at the forum. It's like, oh yeah, he's at the forum.
Well,
You say it's the Great Western Forum.
When you come up from a small, like you're from Calabasas, so
Yeah.
you're from the affluent, one of the you're from the 1%.
Okay.
Me, San Diego, the middle class, middle tier, and when you think of the Great Western Forum, you think of the Lakers before they moved to Staples Center when they were good. I guess they were good at the Staples Center too, but that's what you
God,
think.
you make me sound like I'm such like a spoiled little brat though.
Well,
I'm like the one percenters. No, I've worked hard.
it's all
I work
good.
hard. Work hard. You can't.
I didn't say the 1% did not work hard.
This is true. This is true.
I'm just saying it's Calabasas. I've been in Calabasas.
It's nice. There's not one bad
nice.
part. I would not say that there's one bad
It's
part.
nice. I like Calabasas. I like Newberry Park. I like going to Malibu off Las Virgenes. Is it
Las Virgenes.
Is it Las Virgenes or Las Virgenes?
Virgenes.
Virgenes.
Yeah, everybody says Las Virgenes. Yeah, you just take the canyon straight through.
So I say the
Cali talk.
I say the gringo way, like Las Virgenes.
Las Virgenes. Yeah, you say it.
Virgenes.
Yeah, Las Virgenes. So you go straight through the canyon and you hit Malibu.
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful out there. Pepperdine's out there.
For all the people that are not in California, it's beautiful.
It is, and it's like one of those places where like it's a cool place to visit, but I guess that you guys all have the gates up, so no one can go into the neighborhoods, like where Drake and the
Kardashians.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, all the gated communities, they do have guards.
the
though, so-
non-talented family. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. It's what it is.
That's hard. That's a hard.
That
That's
they're
a hard
not part of the
subject.
1%. I don't count them
So
as
if
part
you
of the
would
1%.
say,
They're not part of the 1%.
so
They're
would you
part of the
want to see a
1%.
fight between McGregor and the Kardashians, like all of them in the ring at once, or because you seem like you hate on the Kardashians, you don't like the
I don't,
Kardashians, do you?
you know what? It's I'm not hating. It's just I don't think there's talent over there. The only talented one was the Olympian. Well, that's pretty
This
impressive.
is true.
The gold medal in the decathlon. That means you have
He's
to
a
be
Jenner though. He's not. Or, sorry,
right.
excuse me.
But out,
She was a Jenner. She is a Jenner. She's
but
still
out
a
of
Jenner.
well, no, I'm talking about the decathlete. The winner of the gold medal
Wouldn't at the
is
time was Bruce.
Bruce Jenner. That's talented to be the best in 10 different events in the whole world. I mean, you have to be the best at almost everything, right? Is that not talented? Everyone else down, I mean, I think they've made a name off being able to market themselves off certain things. And then the mom, I guess, was just doing a great job with marketing, PR, and the whole nine. I mean, but it's for me coming from a small town, San Diego, a little bit more conservatives. Like
The being up here, yeah, it's a different world out
it's
here.
you want to. I like to see people with the hard work. You want to see someone with it, and me, like you give me 10 things to do. If I like only one of those things, I'm gonna work like 300, 500% on that one thing. And I'll be honest, I might be lazy on the other nine. You know, I think there's a reason why I've been fired. I got fired my first job, I was 12 years old, worked at the newspaper. I was in the East Coast for a year in Portsmouth. And it was a paper boy. So I'm not used to living in the snow, 11 years old. And so when it snowed, they bring the papers, you roll it up, and then you got to like bring it across the snow. You're supposed to hold on your arm. Me, I just lugged it in the snow, and I wouldn't even wrap the newspapers up in plastic. And so when I get there to the different apartment complexes, they were soaked, soggy. So I would just drop it in the slot and not even bring it to the door, which you're supposed to bring it to the door because you have a key. And after a while, I would get complaints and like, hey, you got to roll it up and then you got to bring it to the door. I'm like, I'm used to the sun. Like, I don't want to even do this.
So they just thought you were lazy, but you were really just like avoiding that cold.
Yeah, I was just waiting to get
cold
home
temperatures.
and I wanted to go look at my baseball cards and I didn't want to be in Portsmouth at all. It's not a bad place. And I got fired. And you know who they,
You're running low on that thing, by the way.
oh,
Just want to let you know.
you know who they hired to replace me?
Who they hire?
My younger sister. True story.
That's
True
awesome.
story. They hired my younger sister. They hired her to replace me, and I guess she did a phenomenal job. The rest of the year that we were there, she was on, and I was unemployed at 12, 11 years old. I felt what it was like to be fired. I think it stung a little bit too. I was like, wow, you guys really fired me. And then you hire my sister, my 10-year-old sister.
I mean, I can't say that I got fired and then so they hired another sibling of mine, but I was definitely fired before in previous jobs. I mean, I was fired from NBC. It's hard to get. I was fired from one set on NBC. So when you're in high school and you're in production, in the summer jobs, I had a summer job unlike the rest of the kids at my high school and probably 90% of the kids in the United States. But when I was rigging explosives for Knight Rider on set for the shoots, I was only like 16 years old. It was my summer job, and the directors on set, they loved me. They wanted me to keep coming back, and I was helping them rig explosives. And it was my junior year to senior year job, and I rigged one of the explosives to this car. Now, when you're rigging explosives, you're unlicensed, and you're lying to the director saying that you're a licensed rig explosives pyrotechnics expert.
At what age?
There's obviously something wrong because you're 16 years old. What experience can a 16-year-old have? But sure enough, the explosives did go off without a hitch. Perfect. The only problem that I had was I crossed up some people on set, and I ended up breaking like a $10,000 prop. So the directors didn't exactly like that
How old were
from
you?
me. I was 16. And they didn't have me back. But did I tell my mom and dad that I broke that prop coming home? Hell no. And my mom and dad, how was work? It was great. Are you going back tomorrow?
Did you tell him you got
Nah.
fired?
No, I didn't. I didn't tell him I got fired. I just was like, I'm gonna start looking for another job. It was summer, I pretty much just kept running out and pretending like I'm going to work. Later, guys, I'm going to the beach.
That's a kind of cool story. Rigging at 16, explosives.
Yeah, I
on
did a
Knight
lot.
Rider.
I did a lot. I PA'd for a lot of sets. I've shot for NBC.
Have you ever walked out on anyone?
I've walked out on multiple. Just because of the operation that they were
Have
running.
you ever walked out when you told your boss that you were going to be right back and just never came
And
back
dipped
again?
out? No, I did not just dip out for the most part. I actually, oh, I did. I did once at a hotel.
You told him you were coming back?
Yeah, I worked at a hotel. Worked at a hotel, and I was not a busboy, but I was like a waiter for like room service. And this was like another high school job, and they were stealing money from the guests at the hotel. And my bussers, like if they wouldn't leave a tip, like some people just didn't leave tips. They had like a coffee for like $6, and like, why am I gonna leave a $3 tip? They were stealing money, so I was just like, I walked back, and the guy was writing in tips, and I was like, you're stealing money, so I left. And didn't go back to that job. It was just wrong, I told my boss, I was like, I'll see you in a few minutes, and just left. But when he called me later on, I told him I just didn't want to be the narc, the rat, the rat bastard.
So so that you quit the job. That's like you had integrity, you had ethics.
True.
That wasn't a negative situation. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like I just like had for no reason just like walked off.
I think I feel like I have one of the best walk off stories.
All right, so let's hear your
If it
walk off
wasn't
story.
like outside of hitting a grand slam walk off in the World Series, it's summertime, high school, SeaWorld, like all of us had jobs at SeaWorld, and we just
Bro, Blackfish.
yeah. Actually, I like I got to feed Shamu,
Okay, all right.
but not at that time.
The people that you didn't like, did you feed to Shamu or?
No, it's weird. You know what? It's weird. Is like after I worked at the job, I sometimes have nightmares that I don't know if it's nightmares that I'm at SeaWorld again, and then I'm by the killer whales, and I go
Holy
over to
shit.
them, and I'm like
That's
near
a
the
bad
tank.
nightmare, bro.
It's weird.
That's scary shit.
It's weird. It is like a killer whale, like you getting eaten in your sleep by a killer whale. But anyway, we had these jobs. Everyone had jobs from the high school. All of us that had played football, and we had a good fun time. Anyways, my job, I worked near the front, and I was one of those people on the microphone like, and keep your hands and arms inside the tram at all times. Thank you so much for coming to SeaWorld. So it was I had the tram job, and I worked at the front, sweeping and whatnot. So to go into SeaWorld, you have to park in the employee parking lot and go through security, and then walk all the way to the front. So I have to come all the way back. I'm like, I want to work smarter, not harder. So I would park in the regular people's parking lot where the patrons park, because you get in anyway.
And you'd walk in the front
You
gates.
walk in the front gate, and then bam,
pretty much
you're there.
walking in just like with your hands in the air.
Like, well, I don't want to
fuck the system.
I'm trying to go underneath the shadows so they don't know I'm doing this. But one day I walk in, and my boss is like at the front, and he's like, "Where'd you come from?" I'm like, and me, I'm not a good liar. I hate lying anyway. I'm like, "Oh, I mean, I came from over there." He's like, "Where?" I'm like, over there." He's like, "That's where you parked." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is what I want you to do. I want you to get in your car, drive to the employee parking lot, come through security, grab a broom and a dustpan, and start sweeping as you work your way to the front." And I said, "Okay." I got in my car. I was 16, 17, and I went home.
Peace the fuck out.
And it was crazy was about an hour later, I get a phone call from my boss, and I'm stupid. I answered the phone, and I didn't know it was him. It's a landline. He had my landline, and he asked if I was there. I was like, "No, wrong. Not here." Hung up. He called back. "Am I there?" "No, wrong number." And then not wrong number. He's not here. And then this time, someone else called, a girl, and then the girl asked if I was there. And I'm thinking, you're not getting calls from any girls at this time. You broke up. There's no girls calling you. But I'm like, maybe it is for me. I'm like, yeah, this is me. And then she throws him on the line.
Dear God.
And I hung up the phone. That was my SeaWorld, and then since then,
Well, SeaWorld sounds like it was a pretty rad place to work, like before Blackfish. Post that documentary, I would say like people are getting shot as they're walking in the gates if you're an
are they?
employee. I don't know. I'm
No.
just guessing, like, the
But
death
did you
threats
hear?
and
Did you hear they're
I did
shutting down
hear.
their breeding program, which is
I
great.
did. I did. That's terrific, right?
I've been in.
But they are going to still keep the orcas that they
They
still have.
now.
Yeah.
Do you think? Have you ever seen? I've looked for this, and I've never found the video where Tillicum takes Dawn
Under the water.
under the water. First they said, "Oh, she slipped," and then he was playing with her. But there's a video where he grabs her ponytail, rips her down, and then kind of eats her a little bit.
I mean,
Have you seen it?
I saw the documentary. I
Okay,
mean, I
but you
saw it.
haven't
I
seen-
saw, well, they show stuff in the documentary on that. Like, I would say.
But they don't show that. I just saw the documentary.
Yeah.
So
No,
you
I've
haven't
never
seen
I've
it.
never seen that. But I would imagine, I mean, if I was locked in a cage for that long and I got the ability to tear someone apart, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm a killer whale. Let's do this shit.
And it's the third person he had killed. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it's like, well, that's not his first offense.
So if McGregor loses the fight to Mayweather, we just throw him in the tank with Tillicum.
Who?
McGregor. If he loses the fight to Mayweather.
No, he buys SeaWorld whether he wins or loses, and he frees the orcas.
All right. So he could
I'm like, oh, see, he wouldn't be able to free the orcas if he fought UFC fight. He fights Mayweather, he can free the orcas, and it's like Free Willy Part 3. I'll write it.
Dude, you better start on it now.
Free Willy Part 3. It's just amazing though, like all the publicity that this has been getting. I mean, it's been trumping all other MMA news, and for the most part, boxing news outside of the Canelo Triple G stuff. It just shows you the superstar power that Mayweather brings, and he's a master promoter.
Speaking
Actually,
on boxing,
wait,
go back.
Floyd
Okay.
said that he's trying to sign John Jones. Have you saw that too? So John Jones might join the money team.
I did not see that. So
Yeah.
there you go. So then John Jones would be training Mayweather to come and have Mayweather come into MMA. That might be the next move.
Floyd would not.
Let's
want
start some
that.
crazy rumors, like Mayweather's going to jump in the ring and get in the MMA side.
That's Danny Weiss. His address
You heard it here.
Is what's your address? I've never even been to your place.
6969.
You're like a secretive dude.
I'm very low key with everything.
Yeah.
You can't find me on like most social media. You will not be able to find me on Facebook. You will not be able to find me on Instagram. I just stay low key. You will now be able to find me on YouTube because I'll be sitting here with him every Thursday night.
Film on.
Yeah, we
a
are.
little bit of
We
Twitter
are.
action.
We're starting our weekly podcasts over here.
And you invite me. You have invited me to barbecues or whatnot. And you're like, hey, I'll hit you up, and then I just never hear from you.
Because what
There-
will happen
it's like-
is
it's like
I'll be like
it's like an
midway through.
incognito-
I'll be like midway through, and I'll be like, oh fuck, I forgot to hit Dave. But it's like midway through, and I'm like, yeah, how far is he want to drive from North Hollywood out to me out in Calabasas?
Valley Village,
True.
Studio City.
So for this Memorial Day weekend, I am having a barbecue. I will invite
I didn't
Dave.
know that.
I
We have
will.
to be-
I will invite Dave
We have to be on air.
and Ray, our
When is
producer, and it is on Sunday. So
He's got another barbecue to go to Sunday.
he's going to Ray's barbecue.
No, Ray's not going to
Stop
barbecue.
mine.
Ray's not going to be here. Ray's going to go back
It's the
to
interns.
the Calabasas of San Diego.
I like it. So Ray,
Well, actually, no. Calabasas, San Diego
So-
would be La Jolla. No, La Jolla is more Beverly Hills of San Diego. Poway's
so on it for this for Tap Out and Chill. So we're gonna be on now once a week,
once a week. Hey, it might be more. You never know.
giving you updates as far as we know. And we're
Well,
gonna
I
stick-
mean, they're already caught up with the Daily Dose. So
Daily Dose is
Daily
just
Dose keeps them in tune, in track. I do that because us, the 99%, have to put in.
so this
harder
is your
work.
this is your hour to fill me in on.
This
the
is your
information.
yeah. You're like. I
See, this-
understand. I know what it's like to work with prima donnas. You know, I've been around Leo. I've been around Dwayne. I mean, they're cool people, but I haven't worked with them.
So you're
been around.
calling The Rock a prima donna? He might come kick your ass for that.
Maybe, but I
highly
could
doubt it.
jujitsu because he's a buff guy. I know he can throw down.
Oh shit!
I know he can throw down.
If you hear this, Rock, he is calling you out right now.
If it's sanctioned and if I'm being paid, McGregor and Mayweather money. I don't care if it's a 80-pound difference. You know, train really hard. Actually, there was a skit that we're thinking about doing where Ray, the producer, our producer Ray, who he used to be in good shape. He's a CrossFitter. Like we go back and forth on this CrossFit thing. I don't think it really works. I mean, yeah, it'll get you in shape, but you know what CrossFitter is going to want to beat you up? Like you don't train anything. Like you're not doing jujitsu, you're not doing boxing, you're not doing kickboxing.
Look, when it comes to carrying a refrigerator up the stairs, it's something you can't do.
I can pay some like we can pay
Ray,
You can't legally get into a fight on the street.
we can pay someone to bring that refrigerator up the stairs. I mean, it's a done deal. But I'll say this, back to the skit. In his, I see him swiping on the app called Tinder. I've never had it, never downloaded. I actually just learned what it was a few months ago, and I'm like, "Are you serious?"
I was
Like,
liking on Instagram.
you were actually swiping right on Tinder, weren't you?
but it's
That's
weird.
a yes. That's a yes.
That app
That's
is freaking the weirdest thing. Like, it's fake. Like he's like, "Oh, look at this." I'm like, "That thing is so fake."
So if
There's
they,
no bad. But
so
the
they
picture,
swipe, yeah. So
the
he's
picture he
swiping right.
uses is
Your
not.
picture.
He has a picture on there. It's not
That's
even what he
hilarious.
looks like now.
Dude, you should have a picture of you on his and like your Tinder and have it be of Dave.
No, dude.
Well, right now, people are gonna make a fake one of you.
Of Danny Weiss.
You just created a
Actually, Ronda
man.
Rousey.
situation.
Ronda Rousey admitted to having a Tinder with her image on it, but she used a fake name. But then guys knew who she was,
I think that's a smart idea.
like saying, using your picture and say, "Hey, my name is Bob Saget."
I think I should do the Bob Saget. That might be good. That might be my first intro to social media.
That might be your big break.
That might be my big break.
Now this is UFC 199. We'll talk about this next week, but I think it's good. Like LA, it's good for LA to have these pay-per-views. I mean, it's been a while since LA has had one. Vegas is obviously fight capital of the world, but for LA, for the city, this is it's a fight city from a boxing standpoint, and now MMA. So, as you being it's hard for me to qualitatively put Calabasas in LA, even though technically is it Ventura County or LA County?
It's LA County.
Okay, so you're still.
Yeah, I'd be an LA kid. I'm still originally I'm from New York, but I grew up out here, so my whole life.
So how old were you when you came here?
I came out here from New York when I was 10 years old.
So you've been here 15, 16 years.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much like an implant here. So I've planted my roots here. This is my home. My family's all from here, so I'm an LA kid. I'd consider myself a native before I go back home to New York. I'd say this is home.
And now that in New
So
York,
for the fights, I would say, yeah, it's definitely it's a great thing to have the fights back in LA rather than having to go all the way to Vegas for every single fight.
what's crazy is now New York has sanctioned MMA. So in November, first UFC fight ever.
Madison Square Garden?
I think it's either Madison Square or Barclays.
The Barclays?
The Barclays, however you want to say it. But that'll be kind of interesting. I mean, first time in New York, we'll probably be out there. And I wonder who would be interesting too, because Connor has said that. Again, here comes Connor. He would want to be on that card. Ronda Rousey said she would want to be on the card. John Jones would want to be on that card. I don't know. It's just interesting. Everything. I can't think of another sport that's even close to MMA as far as growth wise. Like, here in the United States, you have the NFL, which is America's pastime. It's not baseball anymore. Football, everyone goes crazy, and I think that overshadows MMA. But as far as on the rise and just at the growth.
Well, LA right now with the Rams stadium, though. I mean, LA right now, everything's just all about the Rams. But
they're fair. But
the resurgence of the Forum.
Southern Californians, maybe from they're fair weather fans from San Diego to LA.
100%.
So if the team's not winning, they don't care.
They move on.
But fighters, they'll always follow a fighter.
True.
So that's something that you're never. That's never going to go out of style.
True. I agree with that 100%. I feel like the only team that LA has really stuck with for all their team sports is going to always be the Dodgers. I would have to say the Dodgers the Doyers are always the LA sport.
The only team I like from LA, or two teams, would be the Lakers back in the day and the Angels, because Angels was AL, Padres is NL, and San Diego's pro sports teams. I feel like they don't want San Diego to have a championship. It's money. Padres always did fire sales. The Chargers got rid of the Super Bowl champion Drew Brees. It's crazy. I mean, I stopped having faith in San Diego sports. So now I just root for people I know.
Trader.
Do you know, like
Fair weather.
Jeremy
Fair
Curley?
weather.
Jeremy Curley. I think he's still with the Jets.
I'm not a football dude. I can't watch football anymore. I used to watch football. I say I can't take it anymore. At this point, what they've done with that sport is just over the top. Like the hitting, the things that they've done to the players, their paying of the players, their scale. Like I don't agree with that sport as much as I would say as boring as baseball is. I feel like it's a fair sport. Like they're fair to their players, they're fair to their people. Injuries, pay, their fans. It's a fair sport, and everything with that sport. You know, I guess it just depends on the person, but
baseball is like it's kind of a cool sport. It's a one sport where you could be the least athletic person in your class
and be the best.
Not just maybe not be the best, but you can
hit the most home runs. You could be the fattest guy out there. You could look at that guy. Look at that pitcher on the Mets. Bartolo Colon.
That's what I'm saying.
Look at him. I mean,
these guys, we would beat them in a race hands down. A marathon, a sprint.
You never know with Bartolo though. That dude might whoop our ass.
In a run?
You never know.
I don't know. You know who I thought had potential, like that Roned Odor when he clocked Jose Bautista. I mean, that was a good flush punch. Texas Rangers, Toronto Blue Jays. Then Jose Bautista
we could definitely talk a little bit about punching in that game. I mean that when he connected with his face. I mean that was a solid connect.
That would have knocked out most people.
Hell yeah.
The way he turned it.
Hell yes.
The way he turned it. And actually, Bautista's bigger than him, and he was wobbled. I don't know if you saw that.
Because, yeah.
Bautista, and then the other guy came behind him, which kind of helped him stay up. And then that was... What I like about it is Odor said afterward, he's like, you know, do you have respect? Do you hate him? He's like, no, I have respect for... You know, he's like, well, obviously you do have respect. You just caught him flush in the face, and he didn't do anything to you. You know, so... You know, because you don't want that guy retaliating. You don't want to have to watch over your back. So that punch is it's an epic punch.
That was an epic punch.
Epic punch.
I would say definitely it was a tap out and chill moment. That dude connected with his face, and I thought for sure he was out cold. But he stumbled. He did that stumble and then ran away.
He did the little stanky leg or the chicken wobble. Before we get out of here, Stipe and Overeem, and we'll get into this probably in a few months. Everyone has been calling out Stipe for the fight. It was, I think, they wanted to see what happened between Kane and Travis Brown. The Roy Nelson said he wanted a title shot with Derek. It is going to be Overeem, and this brings me to the baseball punch. You're going to have these guys throw these punches and strikes. That's going to be. Someone's going down. I think there's gonna be a fun fight because it reminds me. It reminds me of a baseball fight. Like these guys are just a technical baseball fight at the heavyweight weight. If that makes sense, heavyweight weight.
So at that level, they're gonna be fighting. Yeah.
And I would think someone's gonna be dropped. And what's the cool thing though is, it's in Cleveland. If the Cavs can get it done, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but who cares? Except Cleveland. But they're going to have the UFC's going to be in Cleveland for the first time. That's one of those cities where
it's like the UFC is coming to a couple of towns at this point.
Oh, they're
coming to New York City.
I mean, they're everywhere new almost every other week. But think of this: Detroit or Cleveland. Which one of these two cities would you least want to go to?
Ooh, but
Have
at
you
least want to.
have you been to any of them?
I have been to Detroit. I have been to
How bad
Detroit.
was it?
Bad.
I heard they have like houses there for like 8,000, 10,000 bucks.
I would say I would probably want to go to Cleveland before I went to Detroit.
Is Detroit? I mean, both. I think Detroit's for sure bankrupt. I don't think Cleveland's gone there yet. But
Well, what they're doing in Detroit, they're rebuilding that city. So
they're
they're
gentrifying it.
They're gentrifying it.
There's
But I would definitely
Where are the poor people going?
that I don't know. That I think we would have to take up with. They're moving here. They're like the warm weather. They're like, we heard LA's got great weather. We're moving out to LA. I have no idea.
It's interesting the whole LA. I mean, no one's really. Done something great on.
If you're a Game of Thrones fan, they're definitely turned into White Walkers. But like, there's some crazy shit. Like the homeless people, like in the United States. I don't know, Michigan, but if they're that cold there, man, there's got to be some great,
It's just interesting. I mean, the whole LA thing. I mean, this is a whole nother thing. But you see tents once you start going downtown, like just lined up on the streets, on a bridge. It's just crazy. I don't think it was like that when I first.
I was gonna say
Moved out
there's
here.
great masses of these homeless people all over, and it's sad. It's a horrible thing, But like in Vegas, all the people that live in those tunnels. There's people that live under the cities.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's people that live under the city to stay away from the heat. But Detroit, I think if it was between Detroit or Cleveland, I would definitely choose to go to Cleveland before I went to Detroit. I don't know about the homeless population.
I
But
think, I don't know. I haven't been to either city, but for those people in Detroit, I think they have a lot of pride though in their city. I don't know if you'll be able to go back to Detroit now.
I don't know.
Unless-
I don't know. I don't know
Is
if
there-
I
but
really would
wait,
want
are
to.
there-
Sorry, Cleveland and Detroit, but I don't know if I would want to go to either one of
Are
your
there
cities,
are
but
there rich parts of Detroit?
There's rich parts of every city,
Well, I mean,
but there's suburbs.
How
There's
nice
suburbs.
are those parts
Oh
of
my
Detroit?
God, I'm sure. Think about it. The car and auto manufacturers of the United States are auto manufacturers.
They're gone though.
Yes, but no. I mean, there's still cities. Like it's a city. There's buildings. There's infrastructure. There's still people that
Where's the
lived in their houses.
Calabasas of Detroit? Let me ask you that. If I ever go to Detroit, I need to go there.
Oh God, I don't really know. I wouldn't be able to tell you that one.
They came out today that people know where the Obamas are going to live after.
Where are they going to live after?
They're going to live in I want to say it's Calorama. If you could, Stephen, Calorama. No. No, there's no
Calamingus
ranch in DC.
He's getting married at Calamingus Ranch. He's a son of a bitch liar.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like a $6 million mansion, and they showed the inside of it. It's like, wow, that thing's intense. I wanted to be president of the United States, but that's when you get fired from being a newspaper boy, you don't get to be president.
That's not true.
At 11,
no, you can recoup.
No, your cobwebs come up, and they're like, you got fired from 11 because you
Just for that, I'm putting a hashtag the Decano on my ballot for 2016. So as soon as I go in there, I'm just gonna write hashtag Decano.
I wanted, one of the reasons why, other reasons in addition to being fired from like 30 jobs was, I felt like
This dude talking about all his jobs.
I felt like I would be assassinated because I thought back. I'm a smart guy. Sometimes you think back to the presidents that were assassinated, JFK, not Hoover. It was one of those guys in that era. Garfield, did Garfield get?
So are you comparing yourself to John F. Kennedy?
Well, I was saying because.
This is the narcissist corner with the
No, I'm
Decano.
saying because of the color, my skin color.
I got you.
But then Obama became president. I'm like, well, then I'm like, oh, I guess it's all good, but it's too late for me now because I jacked up.
Why would you be assassinated though?
Because I wasn't white.
Fuck that shit. White people don't care about that stuff anymore.
Well, I know now, but it's too late. I didn't do law school.
I'm white. If you got a problem with anybody,
I'm
take it up with McGregor.
He doesn't. He considers himself Irish though,
True.
like a proud Irishman.
Oh, no. He does consider himself a proud Irishman.
Not white.
Yeah. All right.
White is an American thing.
Here we go back on the race subject.
Episode number 2. Me and you, number 1. So this is like 1.2.
Okay.
1.5. It's in the can.
It's
We
in the
did
can.
it.
It's in the can. It's in the can. No.
Get it? We did it.
That's
Was
my
it
corny joke.
Baby, was it? Baby, we made it. Who says that?
No,
Some
isn't
rapper.
it? Isn't it? Nigga, we made it.
Whoa.
Isn't that what he says?
All right.
Isn't that what he says?
I thought it was baby. I don't listen to rap that much.
I thought he says that, but
I guess it's 2000. I didn't know 2016. I mean, yeah, that caught me off guard.
that's what he says.
Let's see. Okay. So when this comes out, I want to hashtag Fat Joe because he's cool with Keisha or whoever from the Bay Area is using all that lingo. But Danny Weiss. Next week we'll do it again,
Sounds good.
and then again,
And then again.
and again.
And then we get to 50. We'll get to the first year. We'll get to like what? What did we say? How many weeks? This was
52.
our argument the other day. If it doesn't
52.
make any sense, there should be 42 weeks in a year. 48 weeks in a year.
52.
You know, if you did the math, 12 months and 12 months and then 4 weeks in a month.
52.
There's 52 weeks.
Next week.
So we'll see you next week
Back. Next.
on Tap Out and Chill.